artists. Hello. Let's check the information they're gonna present us, okay? And it's one with 10. I think we have very good time. Remember, let's try to use at least these 4 steps during the presentation. So, or 5, no, they're 4.
Okay.
All right, and well, let's see how we do it. So, everybody, let's pay attention. And well, time is yours. Thank you so much, lady. Thank you so much, Juanita.
Okay, very good. Okay, guys, very nice. I'm happy to see you today, guys. And I want you to tell me if you can hear something. Can you hear anything? What is
Yeah,
it?
we can.
You cannot hear anything?
No, I like.
Your voice.
Yeah.
Ah, my voice. That's it. It's all what you can hear. Come on.
Yes.
Okay. I'm supposedly sharing the sound of my computer. Are you sure you cannot hear it?
No.
No, you cannot hear it. Anyways.
No.
Okay, well.
Is it a clock?
It is a clock. Very good. Yes, I knew you could hear it. Come on, guys. Very good. Yes, so it's a clock. So what are we talking about today, guys? We are talking about time. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let me share my screen and let me turn off this. Okay. So we are talking about time. Okay, guys, let's see. Can you see my screen? Don't tell me
Yes.
you can't.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So we're talking about using time effectively, including starting and finishing on time. Okay? Very good. So guys, what do you think, guys, when you hear the word time? Tell me, what do you think when you hear the word time? Please, Steffi, what do you think?
About clocks.
Clocks. Okay, very good. What do you think, Daniel?
That I have a lot of chores to do and little time.
Very good. Okay, what do you think, Patty? Patty Henkel. What do you think? Your microphone, I cannot hear you. Are you there? Okay, what do you think, Hugo? Sorry, Patty. Hugo, what do you think?
When I hear the word time, I think about that I have to give some classes.
Yes, right? Very good. So we all think about our responsibilities when we think about time. Time is very important, guys, because time is
A timetable.
okay.
Time is money.
Time is money. Very good. Thank you, Patty Henkel. We have problems with your microphone there, okay? Okay, so that's true. Time is money. Do you know, guys, what I think when I hear the word time?
No.
Tell us,
guys,
Juanita, what do you think when you hear the word time?
do you know what I think of? What is it?
Back to the Future.
Back in Time movie.
Yes.
Back to the Future.
Very good. This is the Back to the Future
80s.
movie. Have you watched this movie?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Back to
one
the
of my
Future.
favorites, right? So I think of Back to the Future. So tell me, guys, if you had a DeLorean and you could travel back in time, what would you do if you could travel back in time? So let me see. Let's entertain some comments here, some ideas. So what would you do if you could travel back in time? Please, Andromeda.
I have to do something with my name, Kenya.
Sorry, it says
No, sorry, excuse me. So if I could travel back in time, I probably go to the Middle Ages.
and get killed in the Inquisition.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be nice to go back in time that far. Okay, good. Erika, what would you do if you could travel back in time?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could travel back in time. No idea. I think that I believe in the present, Juanita.
Come
There is no time to
on.
think in the past.
Well, the decisions you made in the past affect your present. Okay, very good. One more person. Alondra, what would you do if you could travel back in time? You're gonna say, if I could travel back in time, or you say, I would. You can say that. Mhm.
If I could travel back in time, maybe, um, oh my God, maybe I prevent coronavirus. Could be.
You would, yeah. That is a very novel thing. Very nice. Okay, good. Well, let me go back to my presentation here, guys. Let me go back to it. Okay. And sadly, guys, yes, unfortunately, yes, unfortunately, all your ideas are very good, right? And that would be amazing if we could go back in time. But time, once it's gone forever. It's gone for good. Yes. For that reason, yes, for that reason, guys, we must make it count. Yes. And we must make the best use of it. Yes. Our students are paying for that hour. Yes. So that hour is very, very important. And we must make the best use of that hour. So Lady's gonna help you guys with some ideas of how to do this. Okay? Lady, please.
Okay, thanks, Juanita. Okay, so as Juanita said, we must make the best use of that time. Okay. And making the best use of that time would be not procrastinating. Okay. That is what we're going to do. And would you help me read, please, Daniel?
Yes. Procrastination makes easy things hard, hard things harder by
Okay.
missing.
Perfect, thanks. So this means that a class that could be easy given can turn into a difficult class if we procrastinate. Okay, and please help me read Stephanie.
It's not about time. No, sorry. It's not about having time. It's about making time.
It's about making time. So making time should be our priority. Making time for many of the steps that we need to have a great class. And please help me read Spencer.
The more disciplined you become, the easier life it gets.
Okay, the more disciplined you become, the easier life gets, okay? So I think discipline shouldn't be an option in our lives. It's not considered like a military thing, or so I think. It's more just like to be organized, okay? Please help me read Erika.
Time management, the ability to use one's time effectively or productively, especially at work.
Okay, so time management. What do you think about this meaning, Erika?
That we need to be, well, whenever we talk about time and being effective about it, I think that it all depends in that we must be responsible, and we need to know how to organize everything around us, our timetables, our lives, and our lifestyle too. So you need, as you previously said, it's a priority to make time for, I mean, in order to manage everything that we do every day.
Okay, so as you can see here in the picture, he has 3 clocks on his hand and he's managing all the time. This means that we can also manage our time for our different activities during the day. Okay, and one of them would be given our classes here at My English Coach. Please help me read Kenya.
What's the objective of the class? Giving students tools to produce the language.
Okay, giving students tools to produce a language is kind of the main objective, because we have different objectives, like teaching a student how to read, or how to comprehend what he or she is reading, or how to pronunciate well. But this will be our main objective, giving students tools to produce the language. Okay, and please help me read Adriel.
Yeah. When do we start to manage our class?
When do we start to manage our class? Okay, so as we see in the picture, did you consider that this image shows managing?
Don't think so.
No, no. And sometimes we may feel like this when we were giving our class, okay? We may feel like this, like our laptop is on fire because probably we don't have our things ready, you know, probably we don't have our links open, we don't have things organized. So we may feel like, oh my God, what is happening, please? Okay, and let's continue. So please help me read Arnold. Is he here?
We start to manage.
Mhm. We start to manage. Please help me read the first 2 points.
Okay, we start to manage when we are planning our classes. We send our Zoom link in time.
Thank you. Okay, please, Susana, the next 2 points.
Yes, we take the appropriate time for each part of our class.
Okay, and the next one, please.
We use an adequate amount of information.
Very good. And Patty, the next 2 points, please.
Which Patty?
I think it's Garcia. Yes.
Okay.
No. It's Garcia Moreno. It's
Garcia
one last
Moreno.
name,
Mhm.
please.
Okay, Garcia
We
Moreno
plan-
is together.
Yes.
Ah,
it's a
okay, great.
last
Garcia Moreno.
name. Thank you. We plan for potential crisis, and
Okay.
we keep track of time.
Okay, and the last 2 points, please, Patricia Henkel.
We add discipline to our meaning to be organized, and we have a clear objective.
And we have a clear objective, okay? So just to end this presentation, okay, we have to remember that we should only take, okay? Jose Manuel, would you please help me read the first 2 points?
Of course, remember that we should only take 10 minutes for homework checking, 10 minutes to do warm-up.
Thank you. And Daniel, the next 2, please.
15 minutes to do drills and 10 minutes to consolidate and assign homework.
Okay, the next 2 was this.
Oh,
Please
sorry,
help me with
sorry.
that. It's okay.
I can read it.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay. 10 minutes for the vocabulary presentation and 5 minutes for the presentation.
Very good. And Stephanie, the next 2 points, please.
15 minutes to do drills, 10 minutes to consolidate and assign homework.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so do you agree on what we just saw, or do you have any observations that you would like to add to this presentation? Or what do you think? Okay, did you agree that time management is the ability to use one's time effectively and productively, especially at work? Did you consider that this can also be used in our everyday life? The time management can also be used in our everyday life. Can we involve this in our everyday activities? Our everyday activities will be as we wake up, as having breakfast, and then, you know, planning our classes, okay? So I consider that we manage our class from the time that we plan our classes, because from there we know how long it's going to take us to evolve in each activity. So I believe that this is the time when we are going to start managing our time. What do you believe, Juanita?
Yes, definitely. It is a time for us to think ahead in, as you mentioned, plan maybe for circumstances that might arise and can take away our time. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when we send our Zoom link in time, meaning like 2 minutes before class, it's going to help us a lot. Or even 5 minutes before class, because maybe we can start our class on time. And when we take the appropriate time for each part of our class, is the last slide that we saw, is going to help us a lot to have an order. And use adequate amount of information. What do I mean by this? Sometimes we want to give our students too much information, and this is what it takes us more time during class, especially with homework. Sometimes we assign too much homework to our students. And then when we're going to check on the next day, we take homework checking more than 10 minutes. probably 15 to 20. And this is what it's kind of not a good idea because it will create a disorganization in our class time. We plan for potential crisis. What happens if I take longer in a certain activity at my class? Well, then I have to have a backup plan, plan B. What happens if that, because my students are taking time to think, because they still don't get the idea of the topic, and keep track of time. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to tell you my personal experience. I started having a timer on my cell phone all the time, for homework, for a warm up, and that's what I did. And right now I don't need it anymore. I keep track of time by myself. I got used to it. And then to add discipline is to be organized. That's all. It's not like, don't take it as a military way of saying discipline, you have to be, no, it's just to be organized. And to have a clear objective will be the best for our classes. Okay. So Juanita, please.
Yes. Okay, guys. So let's see how much you got from what Lady just told you. And we are going to do a little activity, okay? Okay, teacher. Right? Okay, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Very
teacher.
good. Yes, come on, guys. Very good. Okay, so I have, can you hear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good, good. Okay, so I have 6 boxes here. Yes, I have 6 boxes here. And one person, yes, is going to select, and you have 1 minute to talk about the topic or question that is behind these boxes, okay?
I love that.
1 minute non-stop. Can you say that again?
Sorry, it's just that I love that activity.
Oh, awesome. Very good. Okay. So to select the person, yes, to select the person that is going to answer, look at this. The last person that brings me a coin is going to answer. The last person that brings me a coin. The last person. Come on, guys. A coin, a coin, a coin, a coin. Give me a coin. You don't have a coin? Yeah, someone else has a coin. Come on. Yes, the last person. Okay, very good. So let's select. I don't know. Patricia, very good. Patricia Henkel, you were the last person. Okay, very good. So
I had to move a lot.
yeah, you had to move a lot. Okay, but no problem. Please select one and tell me which one do you want.
I like number 4.
Number 4. So you have a minute to tell me about why should we plan.
Okay, I think we should plan in order to start things on time, in order to know how long it will take us to do each of our things, not only at work, but also in our daily life. For example, in my case, I think my life, my day was divided in songs. Like when you take a shower, it takes more or less 4 or 5 songs for me to take a shower. And what else? My life when I started working was also divided like in quincenas. So I had to organize my money so it would be enough for all my expenses.
Very good, Patricia. Good, nice. Non-stop, 1 minute. Good job. Okay, good. Patricia, please select the next person.
Okay. Adriel.
Adriel, very good. Adriel, please select one. Which one do you want? What number?
All right, number 1.
Number 1, Adriel. Okay, remember that we're talking about the class, yes, in particular the classes, yes, that we give. So you have a minute, yes, you have a minute to tell me the benefits of planning for potential crisis. Okay, and your timing starts now.
All right, and well, perfect. Benefits, potential classes. Well, I think the best or the main benefit that you have is that obviously you don't how can I express that? I mean, you are prepared to any possible scenario maybe you might have. So you actually don't take more time solving problems, you know, that maybe if you don't have a plan for that, that potential crisis, sorry, you maybe take longer. So if you plan it, you may take less than expected, you know, and you will give a solution quite fast. That means that you have the rest of your time to just go ahead with the rest of your plan, the rest of your class. No?
Very good. Thank you, Adriel. Very good. Nice. Your camera is off, by the way.
No, it's on. It's just that I have two devices because
I never see you. I know.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay.
on.
Nice, nice. Okay, so one more person. Let's have one more person. Hugo, can you select the person that is on your left on your screen? Who's this person? Come on, Hugo.
Sorry, I had my microphone off. Jose Manuel is on my left.
Jose Manuel, you wanna do the next or you?
Sure.
Okay, good. So which number do you want?
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay, what is the importance of adequate information? Concise, adequate information. And you have a minute and you can start now.
Okay, adequate information. Are we talking about classes, right?
Yes. The content of your class.
Yes, I think we need it's important because well, the class is divided in steps and stages. Each stage has a specific purpose, and the information we use in each of the stages is actually going to help us reach the goal or reach the purpose of the class. So we have to be careful on not giving extra information, useless information, right? Or that the information can be confusing or not adequate to the level. So we have to be sure that each stage reach its objective. We have to pay attention to the information we're using so we can actually reach the goal in a good way, in an adequate way, in an
Very
accurate
good.
way.
And accurate, correct as well. Very good. Okie dokie, guys. Good. Well, I have more questions here, but I don't want to go over time. So just remember, yes, all of this information that we learned today, and think about this question, okay? If you could go back in time in your class, what would you do different? Think about it, and next class, you let me know, okay? Yay.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. See you.
Thank you,
Good.
teachers.
Thanks.
Okay.
That's it, guys. That's what we have.
I think it was a good time. 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, I saw the time.
Do we leave it to the end and we go to the next team right away, Patty, or?
No, I think we should do it now. But let's time it to like very short interventions. So we
Okay.
don't forget, right? Maybe.
So,
Okay, so we'd like you to give Lady and Juanita some feedback, okay? Very objectively, of course, and let's try not to repeat things, maybe. Just we have very few minutes for this, but we want them to receive some feedback from you, observers and trainers, right?
I want to start.
Please.
okay, Hugo.
It was clear and concise to me. Perfect. Good. All positive.
Okay, very good. Who else? Brenda.
I liked how Lady used her personal examples, like how she became more organized and more aware of her time by using a timer. I have never thought of it, and I think this could be helpful, not only to me, but to other teachers as well.
Okay, who else?
I just love the activity you use at the end. I wrote this word wall. I want to use it, and I love the way you foster the student-student interaction. Like, okay, you choose somebody else, And I really love the presentation that lady gave us when, and she considered time management as some sort of discipline. And maybe we can add discipline is not completely away from the ability to improve in your classes, because many teachers say, okay, I am the kind of teacher who likes to improve in their classes, and they present that as an excuse, like that's why I don't make lesson planning. And you shouldn't use that excuse, because when you combine the lesson planning with your ability to improve, when the students, for example, they didn't do the homework, okay, so I know that I need to spend more time in this homework checking, but I need to follow. Now I have a guideline to follow, so I can improve, I can reorder my activities or reorder my time, so I can give in the class entirely. I can cover all of the topics. So maybe we can just remind them that yes, you can improve in your classes, but it's just when you need it. So the best of all of the situations, the best scenarios, always have your lesson plan, your times all set up. And then if you really need it, when, for example, she mentioned a crisis, then you can improvise.
Thank you so much. Remember, the word is improvise. To improve is like to make something better, remember? Maybe we should use improvise. But yes, excellent. Who else?
I just think there was a word that was misspelled. It was unfortunately. Only that.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Let me check it out. I'll make the correction, okay?
Someone else? No? Okay, thank you so much. Something to add? Can I add something? Or you, Patty?
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I really liked, well, talking first about the structure of the presentation you made. You clearly made something, well, what we can call a warm-up, right? You actually were talking about what does time, what comes to your mind when you hear the word time, right? Etc. We can just take this into account, like if it were a warm-up, maybe it would be, I don't know, I always like warm-ups to be as communicative as possible. Maybe we could have maybe separated and okay, you two discuss, right? What do you think about time, right? Make us discuss about time, take us out, and then go ahead. Maybe that could have been that could have worked a little bit better. It was okay. It wasn't. I mean, you don't have to change it. The point here is that when I do this kind of warm-ups, I always make them students interact, communicate each other, right? More than teacher, student, right? Make them do it, but it was okay. And I think you did it well. You did, you actually made the points clear, right? You mentioned the points clear. You made us participate and also manage, do our opinion, and also to wrapping up, right? Like if we could go back in time, thinking about a class, I think that was the activity, right? What would we do better? I think that's a good reflective part of the topic that's actually it can function, right? And we can actually use the information you made, well, you gave into our real life. But I think it was okay. Thank you so much.
I don't know if Isaac and Arnold are going, and Susanna are going to give any feedback or not. Yes, please, Isaac, go ahead.
Okay, so planning it's like a map. Every teacher should plan their class. As a matter of fact, planning is a big part. And I'm not talking about thinking about the activity, but developing the activity before we carry out the activity. Instructions within the activity are crucial, and yet instruction giving is very difficult for a lot of people. What do I mean? A lot of times coaches think their instructions are clear, but when we tell our students, okay, guys, get to work, and they say, ¿qué, teacher? ¿Qué tengo que hacer? So that means they didn't understand. Planning, instructions to go from point A to point B has to be part of the next classroom to achieve success in our students' learning.
Thanks. Susanna, did you want to say something?
No, thank you.
No? Arnold?
Well, I just want to say, talking about the topic we are reviewing right now, which is time allowances in the class. I think, yeah, I agree with Isaac, and I think the general consensus is that in order to have control of our timings in the class, well, we have to plan, and that's one of the main that's one of the main points we need to get across to the rest of the teachers, that there has to be some planning. I mean, we don't have to spend, if we have 5 hours of classes, we are not going to spend 5 hours planning for those classes, but we need to have a clear idea and a clear objective of what we want to achieve in those classes. So at least we should have a few notes. We need to encourage teachers to have a clear ideas of what they want to do and what they want to achieve in those classes. So I think that by doing these exercises and having teachers reflect upon what the meaning of time is and time management, well, I think that is one of the most important things for us in the classes, because at the end of the day, activities, there are thousands and different ways of getting the language across to the students. There are hundreds and thousands different ways of doing that. But as long as we have good time management and we know what we are going to do at every step of the class, I think that is going to be 50% or more, of the class itself. So yes, I think that time management is one of the most important things for teachers in a class. That's it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Arnold. Okay. I would say that I liked your teaching personality. That was very nice, right? It was very interactive. I would only add, maybe besides the warm-up thing that Manuel already said, the warm-up was for me too general, So maybe it would be like, what would you do better regarding time management, with your classes? To be like a little more specific and to connect it with the topic that we went through. That's the only thing, right? Of course, I guess we would elicit much more from the teachers, right? For them to give us what they understand point by point with the presentation about when we start to manage time when, all those different points that you had there. Of course, we would have to do it eliciting more from the teachers, right? I know that we don't have the time right now, but just to make sure we're all clear on that. And I did find a couple of written mistakes that we could go over afterwards, which is really important for us to show written English correctly, right? So even if we have to double check what we've written, we should do it. But it was a very nice presentation because it didn't have all the information there, so that's very nice. And sometimes when you animate, I don't know if it's the name, when you animate your PowerPoint presentation, that you click and then they appear one by one, is even better. So we don't lose attention reading the other points, So we stick to the point that we want to talk about, and our students don't go away, reading the others, but that's about it. Okay. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So I guess we're going to our next team. Our next team is, okay, Patricia and Brenda, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All
Yes,
yours, right?
Brenda. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Great.
Great, thanks.
Hi,
Thank
teacher.
you. Good.
Excellent. I'm glad to
Great.
hear that. Alrighty. So let's jump right into it. Let's see. Susanna, can you help us read this for us?
How you make others feel about themselves says a lot about you.
Alrighty. So tell us, Susanna, what does this mean to you?
I believe that according to what you feel inside, your emotions and feelings, you will share part of that with others. And how you treat yourself is how you treat others.
Alrighty. What do you think, Kenya? What does this say to you?
Well, as teachers, we have to be humble and treat others in the best way so that they can feel comfortable because, well, they are all of them are learning. So making them feel good and confident will really enhance their approach to you and for the others as well as themselves.
Excellent. Alrighty. So what other adjectives does this phrase make you think of? Adriel.
Adjectives. Well, I'm not quite sure about adjectives. I just want to say that I agree to the other points. If you feel happy and you transmit that to your students, they'll feel happy as well, and they'll feel confident, and they'll uh, they'll want to participate and help you having a good class, and help the others. So I don't know. That's what comes to my mind right now.
Excellent. Alrighty. So let's do a little activity. Papi.
Yes, well, we were talking about some adjectives, as Brenda said, but also about some values we have as teachers. So let's see. Could you please take the presentation off, Brent, so I can see everybody? Thank you. So let's see. I'm going to start by saying something, some value I have when teaching. Yes, and you are going to continue with it, saying your name and an adjective or a value that describes you as a teacher with the same letter of your name. Then you're going to mention another person, and that other person is going to mention yours and his or hers. So let's make an example. My name is Patricia, and as a teacher, I am patient, right? Stephanie.
My name is Stephanie, and as a teacher, I am respectful.
Okay, but Stephanie starts with S, am I right?
Sorry. An adjective with S. Sincere, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. It can be, and you repeat mine.
Yes. Your name is Patricia, and as a teacher, you are patient.
Very good. Choose a victim, please.
I don't know. Kenya.
Okay, well, my name is Kenya, and as a teacher, I am kind. She's Stephanie, and as a teacher, she is sincere.
Great. Choose a victim.
Adriel.
Thank you.
All right. I am teacher. I am Adriel, and as a teacher, I am. I'm not sure. With a, I don't know, analytic, maybe I would say. No.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Choose another victim. I think Juanita was volunteering.
All right. Yes. So here.
Okay. My name is Juanita and I am joyful. Okay. And you are, I start with you, right, Patricia?
With Adriel, only the last
You
person.
are, okay, you are Adriel and you are analytic. And she's Steffi and she's sincere. No, she's Kenya and she is kind. And she's Steffi and she's sincere. And you're Patricia and you're patient.
Okay, great. It is, I mean, it was very good. Just because of lack of time, let's only repeat the one that was before us,
Okay.
the previous person. Thank you, Juanita. Could you select a victim?
Erika.
Thank you.
I'm Daniela, and as a teacher, I am dynamic. And she's Juanita, and as a teacher, sorry, Daniel. She's Juanita, and as a teacher, she is joyful. Thanks, Juanita.
Great. Could you choose another victim, the last one?
Daniel.
How dare you? Okay, I am Daniel, and as a teacher, I am. Oh, I am daring, and she is Daniela, and she is dynamic.
Great. All right. So this leads us to the topic. Ren, could you please share again? Thank you, Spencer. So could you please read the topic? It's the next one, please.
You mean qualities or, oh yes,
Oh, no,
attending a students and staff equally and respectfully.
That's right. So as we were mentioning at the beginning, how you feel is more or less how you will make others feel. So that's why we should treat ourselves and treat our mates respectfully and equally. We wanted to add this word like and stuff because not only we need to respect our students, but also our coworkers. I mean, this is what we are here for. Great, thank you. And Bren, could you continue?
Of course, thank you so much. And just like the image says, we all deserve respect. I would like to share something with you. Juanita, can you please read this question for us?
Yes. Do you know that the strongest shape is a triangle?
Exactly. The strongest shape is a triangle. I believe that there are 3 key values that we need to use in our everyday lives. And from these 3 key or core values, we generate other values. For example, the first one is honesty. Can you read it for us, please, Spencer?
Sure, honesty. Speak the truth without being rude.
There is a fine line between being blunt and not losing not interfering with someone's dignity. I think this also goes hand in hand with respect. Can you read it for us, please? Patty.
Accept yourself and others for who they are.
Respect goes a long way. You can give it, but not all the times you are going to receive it. But as long as we are accepting and loving for who we are and how we are and what we do, there really isn't any limit. And I think that the most difficult one is responsibility. Lady, can you read it for us, please?
Responsibility. Face any consequence of your actions.
Every action has a reaction. Not all of them are bad. Remember that there are good consequences to things that you do. And this will affect us as teachers in our classes and in our work ambience. Patty. Well, Patricia, sorry.
Right. So we have another quote here. Please, Danny, could you read it?
Treat others the way they want to be treated. Find out what respect means to others.
Right. So this word, this value can vary among people. So I would like to listen to you. What is respect to you? Someone who hasn't participated, please. Alondra, what do you think respect is? Or what it means? What does it mean to you?
Hello, you can hear me? Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Respect for me is treat others as I would like to be treated. So, and not only adults, uh, so respect all people.
Great. Thank you. Arnold, what do you think?
Well, I think respect is accepting other people's opinions, points of view, other people's objectives and goals. I think respect is just having enough wisdom to know the difference between my opinion and other people's opinions or points of view.
That's right. Thank you very much, lady.
When you show respect, I think that you show who you are. It goes beyond probably agreeing with other people's opinions, or maybe not agreeing entirely, but showing respect for what they believe. But it's more of a value of who you are. It's a value of how you've been raised and how you've been taught. Respect to me also is not well, taking in consideration what other people may have to say or may have for you, because sometimes other people have opinions to make your life better or to make things better or easier for you. So that when you take that into consideration, I think that you show respect.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, lady. And let's hear one last person, please, Juanita.
Well, my opinion, respect means being humble to recognize that other people have abilities from which you can learn from, and also it means admiring and recognizing other people. So being willing to learn from them, that's also part of being respectful.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you very much, guys, for your opinions. Let's move on, please, Bren.
Excellent, thank you very much. Alrighty, so we have some class objectives. Can you read the first part for us, please? Alondra.
Yes. Class objectives. When giving feedback, give constructive criticism, have them reflect on that they can improve.
Exactly. I believe that we who are going to be training other teachers in the MEC family, we have to give constructive criticism. I think that many people forget that we are here for a reason, and the reason that we are doing this teacher training course is so everybody understands. But some people may not take it lightly and might actually take it a little bit personal. For this, it's important to remember to give constructive criticism and also have them reflect on what they can improve. What maybe they can improve, like, for example, their time management, maybe how they can do a different drill, etc. Can you read number 2 for us, please? Arnold.
Knowing our areas of opportunity helps us grow professionally and personally.
Exactly. Remember that we are in a great institution. My English coach gives us many opportunities to grow, not only as teachers, but also in our professional life. And I think we could take advantage and actually work together to make this a possibility for everyone, not just a few of us. And the last one, can you read it for us, please, Juanita?
Yes, learning can be fun, but there is a fine line between having fun and making fun of someone.
Exactly. Not only this applies to the MEC team, but also in your classes. Remember that your students have different personalities and they might feel attacked. So remind them that these are also things that we can use in the class. Patty. Well, I'm going to use Penta because Patty, we have to. Penta.
Well, thank you. Let's practice these things with a situation. We have scenario 1. Jose Manuel, could you read it, please?
Sure. Scenario 1. Pepito is a teacher. He is a little arrogant and doesn't think he needs the TTC because he has had many years of experience. He believes he is wasting his time. During the TTC, he can be rude to other coaches and even make fun of their ideas or way of teaching. How can we effectively correct this behavior and integrate his attributes to the MEC team?
Right. I would like to hear just 2, 3 opinions. Please, Dani Arriaga.
Okay. My first idea was like fire him, right? But of course we can do that. The second idea that I thought about is that I think that this happens usually with more, I don't know how to say it, but like traditional teachers, because they are sometimes like, I don't know, like they believe that what they thought when they were in university or college maybe is the most appropriate like program, or those are like the most appropriate skills or ways of teaching that they have. And sometimes they refuse to maybe receive I don't know, a kind of advice, a piece of advice, or something that you can mention them to make their class better. I remember when I was in the teacher training course with Lady, some teachers were like, they didn't accept 100% the mistakes they made. And they were like, no, but it's okay. I mean, it's like, I mean, this is the way I do it and it's okay. And you cannot tell me what to do. I think that we need to work a lot on that, because now that we were like listening to you girls about like giving a constructive feedback may be difficult, because as you mentioned, the students have different personalities, and so do the teachers. They don't like sometimes to be told like which things they can change, but I think that in the end it's something that we have to do. We need to understand, we need to be respectful, and we need to accept when we do things right and when we don't. But that's a thing that everybody needs to work on their own. And well, let's hope the best for the teachers, because as you mentioned, if we are doing this training course, it's supposed that it's for something good, right? It's because we want to like put everything in the same path, in the same level. And well, I think that we can help them as long as they want to be helped. And that's it.
Yes, thank you very much, Dani. I super agree. And maybe if they do not accept their feedback, we could fire them at some point. Okay, great. Thank you. Please, Mr. Isaac.
Yes, it is true. Usually these people have a lot of experience and they are reluctant to change. But let me tell you, when you say things that sound logical to people, even the most experienced person, if they say, hey, what he says sounds logical, what he says makes sense, that's how people do what you tell them to do. Now, with all of our experience put together here, we can even help those people because we are knowledgeable. The experience that we have is not from what we think, but from what we have read and written documents, papers. So even those coaches can learn something from us because we have more experience because it's more of us than them. Now, as some of you mentioned, if somebody does not change their ways, then we have to find out why. Why do they think their traditional way is more effective? And we can tell them the benefits. The benefits are if you do what we are telling you, then students are going to love you and you're going to have groups. If students don't like you, then if they complain, we have to take away those groups. And of course, I think that's why people are here. They are here because they want to work.
Exactly. Alrighty. So now what can we do? How can we persuade these people? Can you read the first one for us, please? And Stephanie.
Yes. Standardization helps us to do the same thing and teach the same way by following a specific method. This makes transitioning easier when a student passes to another level.
Excellent. If we all do the same thing and follow the same system, not only are we helping our students, we are helping each other when we are changing the classroom to another teacher, etc. Lady, can you read the second point for us?
Our students are our clients. Therefore, they should get the same service from every coach.
Exactly. There are many different situations in which students can't continue in their schedule and they have to find a new schedule. If all the teachers are great, our students won't leave. They would actually recommend more students to come join us because we are organized and they see that with every teacher. The third one, can you read it for us, please? Adriel.
Sure, we can learn from each other everything from what we should do to what we shouldn't do. Remember, you can learn something new every day. Never stop learning.
Exactly. We are teachers. As this says, we never stop learning. You stop learning when you die. And we are educating. We are teaching others to understand that learning is a continuous process. We should encourage this not only with our teachers, but with our students as well. And the last one, could you read it for us, please? Juanita.
Getting to know the people you work with can help in a time of need or even vice versa. We are a team.
Exactly. Right now, we are living in an extraordinary situation. We can get infected and maybe have to be quarantined for a couple of weeks. We need to know who we are working with to make this easier and to lend a helping hand, of course. Pati. Bueno, Penta.
Okay, let's continue talking about this. Just to close up, please, Patty, could you read the first one?
Remind students that this is their safe place where they can make mistakes and learn from them. Better here than out in the real world.
Right. So we should mention this to our students, like they can make any mistake they want here. And this is why we are here for, to make mistakes and correct them before it's not like it's too late, but before they get into the real world. And this is where they can learn how to correct them. Please, Kenya, could you read the second one?
Yes, when correcting students, do it generally, not singling students out.
Yes, it is very too or easier to accept mistakes when you are not pointed out. Or maybe when we make a mistake, we could say, you know, like, I heard someone say this. You know, sometimes they can say, ah, yes, teacher, it was me. But try not to point it out so they don't feel attacked or offended. Great, thank you. And the last one, please, Adriel.
I persuade students to help each other. This way they don't become so dependent on the teacher. And TTT is reduced.
Yes, this is a teaching talking time. So in order to reduce the teacher talking time, we can help them be independent. For example, when they are in breakout rooms, uh, they should know what they are supposed to do, and they should be able to help each other and how to work in a team. Great, and let's see.
Let's
We
look
were
at
supposed
scenario number
to
2.
do another scenario, but I think we're taking a lot of time, so maybe we should stop here. Should we?
Let's continue with it because we're just going to wrap up. It's not going to take too long.
Okay.
Let's just read it and then look at the points. Can you read it for us, please, Spencer?
Sure. Lucrecia is taking English classes again. She decided to embark on her study with MEC, but she's had a few bad experiences before with learning a new language. She doesn't like to participate because she's afraid of making mistakes. She is shy and doesn't know how to ask questions or ask for help from from her peers. How can we, as teachers, encourage her to participate and enjoy this learning process with the MEC methodology?
Exactly. So what can we say or do to our students? The first one, can you read it for us, Kenya?
Yes. Well, have students think about their personal objective. Why did they decide to learn a new language?
Exactly. Remember that everybody has a goal, and that is the same for our students. The second one, please, Jose Manuel.
Read the last one, right?
Yes, of course.
You can only progress if you try to improve every day. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it.
Yes, and we skipped one, Stephanie, the second one.
Yes, remind them that we learn from our mistakes and others will learn from them as well.
Exactly. This is a constant process that we have to experiment, fail, learn, and repeat. But we can only do that if we practice continuously. Alrighty? And to finish, let's read a reflection. Danielle.
We are not a team because we work together. We are a team because we respect, trust, and care for each other.
Exactly. Students can do this within their classrooms. We as teachers can encourage them to do it with each other. This way we can keep students following the program and advance in their learning process. And in the MEC team, we can also use this as well to care for each other and grow as an institution. And that's it. Ta-da!
Okay, thank you so much. Okay.
So let's get some feedback, right? For them? Okay,
Can I start?
of course.
I just, well, only on the scenarios, I would add like multiple choice, what would you do? And, multiple choice, would you do this? Would you do that? And just give multiple choice options for the teachers just to see, to determine like their way of thinking, their way of thinking. And in the S scenario too, in the second S scenario, I was thinking about it because I had a lot of situations with the students like that. And what I usually do is that I work with them. I pair with them at first and I have them participate with me. I have them participate with me and then I go ahead and let them free little by little. I analyze who they get along with better in the classroom or who, and then little by little, I just let them go. That's one of the also the things that I do. But it was great. I think it was great. There was a lot of interesting information. It was a lot of I think emotional detail in there, like how to, like analyze within yourself what you are doing correct or not.
May I? Yeah, well, all right. Well, mine is just vocabulary feedback. I think when you mentioned attending students respectfully, I think you meant addressing students respectfully or assisting, right? Because attending is like going to a place. So you don't attend a person, you assist a person. Maybe you attend a meeting or attend to a matter, but I think you meant assisting or addressing. Maybe I would use more addressing in that part. It's just that.
We thought the same, but it was the name of the topic.
All right. All right. Well, sorry. Yeah, on that end, just add one more regarding I wanted to comment something regarding the topic in general. Just to share, this phrase I heard in Game of Thrones, the series, ever since I heard this phrase, I loved it. And it's like a wise king knows what he knows and what he doesn't, So maybe we could say that to ourselves and to our students and to our teachers, so maybe they can understand that we don't know many things yet and don't yeah, so we aren't in denial thinking that we know everything. Just that. Thank you.
Yeah, in my case, yeah, can I go ahead? Yeah, in my case, I think it was really good. Yes, I like the content mainly of the presentation. And a lot of the information that it has, I think is very useful. And it has a lot of it. So basically we don't have to add much more, perhaps a little bit, but it's well covered, I think. That's what I like.
Anyone else?
I think Kenya wanted to say something.
Okay, thank you, Kenny.
Okay, well, basically it was kind of the same thing as Lady said. I believe that in the part of the class objectives, we could have shared as teachers in the practice our experiences. That's my input.
Can I say something? Sure. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, as Lady said, it was a really good presentation. The information, the information was like clear, but something that probably I would do a little bit different is for me, especially for me talking about myself, energy is something really, really important because I'm an energetic person. And if I don't see that people talk to me with energy, I get distracted easily, like so easily. So is that is the only thing that I would do different, a little bit more energy. That's it.
Anyone else? Arnold, Isaac,
Daniela,
Susana?
I think.
Daniela, please. Thank you.
No, it wasn't a applause. I actually liked a lot the presentation. Yes, I didn't raise my hand. but I think that it's true. Maybe it has to be a little bit with the thing that Spencer said. It has to do with also the teaching, like the race of, like the volume of the voice. It's sometimes important because you seem to, both of you seem to be like very relaxed, and maybe that's part of your personality. But when you talk like this, I know that because you say alrighty and things like that, that's why I noticed. But yes, I think that maybe you can speak a little bit louder, and that can help you a lot.
No one else? Manuel?
Yes, I would like to mention something super fast. I like the presentation. I like how you approach the topic. Maybe these scenarios, I would have liked us maybe like to give real examples of how we could actually manage the situations. That would be like awesome. Talking about attendance, I was searching like the definitions, and maybe Adriel could be right. Although attendance can also be like paying attention to someone, right? So maybe we can take it like paying attention to students like equally and respectfully. Uh, I think you actually manage different concepts well, including some other concepts that were not really related with the topic. Maybe talking about correcting students, maybe talking about and these are actually going to be other topics, but I think it was well managed. I would have liked, like I told you, just like to take these scenarios and maybe um, create give real examples of each of us of how we could have managed those situations. But at the end, I think it was complete. And you actually, like I said, you mentioned even other details that didn't have exactly to do with the topic, but I think it was good. That's
Okay, I would just like to add um, a couple of things. Like as Jose Manuel was saying, you went like into other topics, and this is not a problem right now with us, but we must be careful because sometimes that happens. Like in class we start going on a different topic, and then like we miss the objective. So we should just be careful of that. And for example, that happened when we asked Adriel to participate. When you wanted some adjectives to be included, in the idea, like Adriel said, well, I can't think of any, so he just gave his point of view. And that happens to us a lot. But I think that we can correct the way, like, okay, thank you, but who else can give us an adjective? Or then you can give an example. So other teachers or students start giving examples the same as the ones you wanted them to give you. So just don't lose track of that. What you were really asking for. I think that happened with someone else too. But well, and it's just being very strict, let's say, but because that happens to us sometimes, students don't answer what we wanted and then we just let it go. But then we miss the point, or we could miss the point. So that's why I'm saying that. A couple of mistakes I will point out to you specifically if you want. And I think that's all. I think the energy wasn't bad. I did like your teaching personality, but I think you were a little nervous, maybe. So, well, we all get nervous, when we are giving a presentation like this in front of the others, but try to relax, and show a little more enthusiasm. Okay, at some point, and I think that's it. Thank you very much. I don't know. One last thing. I don't know if the instructions for the first activity were clear, because you had a slide, and I think the slide was the example of what you wanted us to do, but then you didn't go over the slide, so then teachers didn't know what to do, and it's just for you not to this one. Like if you had given an example using this and everyone seeing it, then everyone would have followed, because we didn't really follow what you had written here. Okay, but that depends on how necessary it is for you to follow, or for your students to follow really what you had thought of or not. right? But if you have it, use it, you know? If not, then maybe, I mean, you didn't even need the slide, okay? So, but just talking about giving instructions, what Isaac talked about a while ago, right? It is really important to make sure that instructions are clear, because that way we don't waste time, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, excellent. So we are going to well, to finish, right? Make a conclusion about this, but I think they were great. Something we were talking about yesterday, Patty and me, were to do this activity to make everybody give a feedback, because we really want to check, we really want to understand how you do it, right? The type of feedback you actually give. Because remember that we as observers and also as trainers, we're gonna be giving giving feedback to our teachers, right? So I think this is important. We're gonna continue with this activity. Maybe at the end, at least at the end of this week and this session, we're gonna pay attention to the type of feedback we're giving, right? To how we really understand, yes, the comments we can actually make, the objective ideas we can actually give teachers who are presenting. But I think this is a dynamic. I think this is the point. This is what we are supposed to do. I really have hope the other teams have this idea. And like the topics, I mean, the points Patty mentioned, right? Let's be careful with the little mistakes we could have with focusing on the topic, right? And I really like what the scenarios they presented today, for example, in this second one. But I think we could do it and try to relate it as best as possible to the real life, right? To what really is happening, right? To adapt these to real situations. I think that's a good thing. I really like that. But I don't know. I think I think you did it well. Okay. Are we gonna conclude with something else, Pati?
No, I would just like to add, now that you mentioned this, we should all have an opinion, okay, about what our teachers are going to be presenting, right? So we would have liked to listen from all of you, some feedback, you know, to see how we give feedback. But my point is that we do have to have an opinion, okay, mainly during the trainings with the teachers, okay? For example, in Alondra's group, remember Alondra? Sometimes it was like, oh, lovely. Oh, it was so nice, teacher. And no, like lots of things were missing. Or the warm-up wasn't really a warm-up, it was a presentation. But then nobody felt like, oh, you know what, I feel it's not a warm-up because of this and that. But I mean, you as trainers have to do it, okay? If no one else does it, you have to do it, okay? And everyone was, oh, lovely, oh, very nice. Oh, I loved your activity. Yeah. But let's not lose focus, you know. We want to improve our skills, and we can all improve. So let's better give them like this positive or constructive feedback, so we are better and better each time, instead of just like praising them, you know, more than they really deserve, you know. Okay, thank you. That would be all on my side.
So I think that will be all right. Thank you so much for your presentations and the information. And I really hope it's clear, right? I really hope like we can get like the big idea of what we're trying to understand, because all of these points are all of these topics we're checking are actually parts of what we're actually gonna look at, what we're actually going to observe, what we're gonna present our teachers, what we want them to do. Okay, so I really hope like we have no big problem. And well, thank you so much. I think we can continue tomorrow with the next presentations.
I
Okay.
have a quick question
Yes.
about what Patty just mentioned. Is it okay if we, for example, praise a teacher on something that what they did was correct, but not in the correct area or the correct, for example, for warm-up? Because I had teachers that did a great, you know, they presented something, they presented a topic, but it wasn't a warm-up, but they did a great job. And I told them, it's a great job, but it's not a warm-up. It's okay to address a teacher like this.
Sure, but you can say, you know, the activity was excellent for a presentation, but it didn't comply with a warm-up, because we have to be very clear, you know. Sometimes, well, she said it was great, You know, that's all I keep in mind. Oh, she said it was great, you know, like, so who cares if it wasn't really a warm up? No, the point is it had to be a warm up, and it wasn't really a warm up. As an activity for the presentation or drill, depending on what they present, it's wonderful, but don't use it as a warm up. I do believe we have to be very clear on those things.
Okay, thanks. Have a great afternoon.
Okay.
But yeah, and we do have to tell them what was really well done. You know, like your attitude or the activity was, you know, provoking, critical thinking, whatever you find it was good in their presentations must be praised on. But be very clear that that wasn't a warm up. You know.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think that will be all. Thank you so much, everyone. And well, I'll see you tomorrow, same time,
Thank you.
same place, same channel.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. See you later.
See you, buddy.